Deadline reported this earlier today at 1:57 p.m. Anchor Bay Entertainment gets revitalized and sets up a couple of new releases this fall with an eye on genre films, undiscovered treasures, cult classics, and remastered catalog releases. Now, there is an updated Anchor Bay logo that kind of looks like a pirate ship. Yeah. It said in the interview, we had the opportunity to take the name of a beloved genre film brand, one that we feel a personal connection to, for our new company. This is a new venture, unaffiliated with any previous incarnations. We aim to honor the history and spirit of the past as we look for interesting films that break the mold and will be discovered by new generations for years to come. Now, Lionsgate, they were the ones that kind of acquired the name, I guess, whenever they folded up, and they had bought the rights somehow. I guess this new company, Umbrelic Entertainment, has. So starting this fall, I think it's a couple of movies they've announced. It's a documentary on Gunnar Hansen, The Dinner with Leatherface, and let me see,
Abruptio. I've seen it. It's good. It's awesome, actually. I think everybody is going to really get a kick out of it. And it's cool to see it come in a physical media because it's something I've never seen before. It's basically using almost like puppets, but it's like it's weird, man. Like Sid Haig is in it, which is crazy because I mean, he's been dead for how long now?
Yeah. Quite a while.
If you guys can look up a trailer for Abruptio, just take a look at what this movie is. So I went to Panic Film Fest last year and they debuted it there. And it was one of those movies that we were all like, holy shit, this thing is like the wildest thing I've ever seen. And it's not wild in like a gross way. It was just wild in the way that it was done. It was done with like puppeteering and stuff, but it's like, it's hard to really explain. It's like a real movie, but these characters they just look very odd, like almost like something out of a cartoon. And it was just all practical work. And it's interesting. It's definitely a watch because it's like something I've never seen before. So I'm glad they're putting it out because I was wondering when this movie was ever going to see the light of day, either on VOD or physical. So I'm glad that that's their first big one.
Yeah, they mentioned the plot of it here. It's made with lifelike puppets in realistic settings. Took 8 years to complete. In Abruptio, Les Hackle is a guy down in his luck who wakes up to find an explosive device has been implanted in his neck. He must carry out heinous crimes in order to stay alive while trying to identify the mastermind manipulating the now twisted and strange world around him. So it's Tobin Bell. He's the one that's.
I mean, I think you guys will get a fucking kick out of it, 100%. Like you might be like that sucked, but I think you guys are gonna think it's hilarious because
does it look like Team America? That would be fucking
no, it looks cooler. It looks cooler than that, man. It looks cooler than that.
Yeah. There needs to be more movies like Team America, man. Like I watched that again not too long ago. That's just like
I don't think there'll ever be any more movies like
that. Is what it's missing.
Sorry, we're not in that space anymore.
Hey, South Park's still rolling though. You know
that's true.
Yeah, it's still rolling.
But yeah, Anchor Bay Entertainment, guys. We've talked about this before. I think I mentioned it with Felcher. I'm like, Lionsgate has revived Vestron. So why couldn't they just revive Anchor Bay into a separate, which this is even better though, because it's owned by somebody independently and it could almost be like a new boutique label with an old name, of course. So I'm kind of interested. I mean, I'm all for it. What do you guys think?
I'm interested for sure. I mean, I think if the right people are behind it, there's a lot of opportunity there I think that they need a big gun like that because we've all talked about Scream Factory. I mean, we don't know what they seem like they're fine, but you never know. They could be gone in 2 years. And if that's the case, there needs to be another, label, I think, out there. And man, if they were smart, they'd get some people that knew what the hell they were doing, like contact Slippy, get some shit going on there. It would be nice to see.
Slippy definitely. It's too bad he's not on. That he would have been perfect to talk about this. One of the guys that's behind this started his career in Anchor Bay originally, so he definitely would know what the value of that brand means to people. Yeah, like you were just saying, it's a great idea. it's a really smart brand to bring back. You've obviously seen all these boutique labels be pretty successful for the most part. They're basically doing what Anchor Bay was doing on a smaller scale back in the heyday of DVD. You guys have talked about it a million times, but I remember back then, like if you were a horror fan or a genre fan, if you walked into a store, if it fucking had the Anchor Bay logo on it, you would just buy it, even if you never even heard of what the movie was. It's like, if they're putting it out, it must be interesting. So that's that's a huge brand, and it seems like a really smart idea if they do a good job.
I was curious, and maybe since that guy actually does have some experience with Anchor Bay, that it won't happen. I just don't want to see another Stars. You remember when Anchor Bay got taken over and it was Stars, and they just released all that new, like horrible independent
The Walking Dead seasons. That was the death.
Well, if you take that out of it, like they had some of the worst, like just independent films that came out. We used to get screeners of them, and like it was bad. So I just don't want to see like something like that happen again, where like that's their motive, and they just start releasing these low budget.
There were a few different eras of Anchor Bay though. Like there was just the original Anchor Bay era that like came from, I think, what was the label? Video Treasures or something like that, became Anchor Bay. And then IDT Entertainment bought Anchor Bay. And then after that, Stars bought Anchor. Like that was probably the last 3 or 4 years Anchor Bay was around, which I think the Stars era is the one where it was really, really sucking ass. Like they weren't even really doing a whole lot of genre stuff anymore.
Yeah.
But I was hoping to see that Slippy was a part of that, but I don't get the impression that he is, unless he's just super.
Well, he would be
down low about it.
He's got that poker face.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll produce content for stuff if they're putting out, re-releases or retro releases.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He's he will work for him for sure if they.
If they ever get that Trick or Treat 4K release out in 2026, then maybe he'll have time to do something else. But
I'd honestly forgot about that release until I just completely forgot.
Like, I think everybody has forgotten.
Yeah, I think they're hoping people forgot, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Anchor Bay Entertainment, though, the one thing that I would do, they've got the new logo, right? I would just nix that. Go with, if you can legally use it, go with that original sailboat logo. That alone would get people would just, get moist.
So the new one has just got like a skull crossbones kind of thing on it, right?
Yeah,
that's not.
It does not compare at all to the original.
They may not have the rights to use that. I mean, who knows? I don't know how that works. But if they can, like that would, yes, and go back to the little logo on the spine and everything, people be all over that, man.
Wait, they're just starting with like 2 titles. Outright. Do they have like a projected release date, like a time frame or anything?
I think it's this fall. I don't think they've actually set a date yet. Yeah, I don't see a date on here or anything, but I think they said this fall.
I'm pretty sure people will buy the Leatherface thing.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Just the other title, I don't know about that. I just hope like low sales figures doesn't discourage them from moving forward. Like they're going to need like one big title. Then it'll take off.
The problem with it now is that like we're saturated with boutique labels. This is not like it was back when Anchor Bay was at the height. Like, nowadays, like you can't turn around. You can't throw a rock without hitting a boutique label. Between like stuff overseas and the stuff here, it's like there's a lot of competition, and a lot of people are doing like releases that are insane right now. So where do they fit into that? I guess they've got to figure that out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they need like that one big title to stand out. I just hope they don't get lost in the shuffle is all.
Yeah.
It's very easy to now, because Anchor Bay, like back 20 years ago or whatever, they were probably selling more titles than all of these boutique labels combined today. Like limited editions of 100,000 copies and stuff like that. So
the marketplace was much larger than people.
Yeah.
You could get, the average person would occasionally splurge on physical media back then too. And they were in big retailers for sure. I'm sure they outsold all of these companies back then.
Yeah.
I love that quote.
Landscape's different though.
I love the quote that Felcher had where he asked like one of his bosses, like, how limited is this? And the guy was like, it's limited to how many we can sell. It's not really limited, dude. It's just, yeah.
I think what would be cool though, like I mean, I don't know what kind of budget these guys have. Go for big titles that Anchor Bay had back in the day that maybe have not been really seen since in the US. There's Near Dark. There you go.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
would
good one.
imagine they came out of the fences with a Near Dark 4K or something like that. Because I mean, they had Near Dark back in the day, and like probably the nicest Near Dark edition ever.
Yeah, the best.
Actually, you know what would even be really sick? It is if like some of those editions, like imagine if they did Near Dark and basically mimicked that almost same version from back in the day, but like kind of updated it. Like it was like a big fold out with like lenticular.
Big
I mean, like
book.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, like I think it'd be kind of cool if they
stage-
almost tried to go back and mimic some of these cool ass releases that they had.
Yeah, I think that they do need, like Mark was saying, Anchor Bay to restart, and I'm excited about it because I love the brand. I think that was a brand that didn't need to go away at all. Like they could have continued, and they kind of silently just closed up shop. I think it's 2017 was when they. So it's been what,
You remember
6-7 years.
the story that always stuck with me that he told about why they ended up folding, and this is what I'm afraid is going to happen to a lot of these labels too, is they started like the more success they had, the more they started investing in these higher priced rights and titles and things like that. And then over time, like as the sales started to decline and they're spending more money on the rights to these movies, like it just didn't equal out to where it got to a point where it just sunk them. And I feel like, you know, you see, I'm going to use Vinegar Syndrome as a one just because it's easy. Like you see them, you know, putting out shit like Roadhouse and Showgirls and things like that. Like, you know, the rights for those have to be something more so than Night Screams anyway. So it's like, I don't know about that business model. Like it's the same business model basically that got Anchor Bay fucked up. So
give us the thumbs up,
off your butt.
like, subscribe, and if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a fuck.
I want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that now.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. And click that bell.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit radio shirts. You can get Last South on the left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. Dead Pit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows, fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.